What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another awaited return. This one's on me.
Long-awaited return.
Of Two Dudes of Sports News. As always, my name is Garrett here, my co-host.
What it do? This is Jalen Prince, man. Bro, it's been a minute.
Did you just drop the pork skins?
No, I dropped my phone. I dropped my phone and my remote. Not to mention, I'm still battling cold, so like I'm on the last ends.
You're good. We won't run too long tonight if we can help it. So Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for being patient. This is the busiest time of year for me when it comes to work. As you can tell by the lack of setup still going on here in TDSN headquarters down here in South Georgia.
Yep, which I'll be back home in less than a week.
Yeah, happy early birthday too.
Yes, sir.
This might be the last one y'all get before the new year, depending on how schedules line up. So just
we might try to set up one in person.
We'll see. Hey, if I'm in town and I got the time, I'm game, man. That'd be fun. We've done one in person. We've never done one in person.
Ever.
It's like we've never done one in person. Ever. So thank you guys for tuning in. As always, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for being patient, and thank you guys for allowing us to hit a milestone. If I remember correctly, the other day we officially broke over 3.2 thousand all-time downloads. So thank you guys for that. We couldn't do it without you. We appreciate it. It's been a 120 or 126 episodes, but hey, we got there, and that's what's important. So
probably would have got it to 150, maybe even 200.
We'll see. I don't know. I'm happy to be here, happy to be doing this, and let's get right into it. We've got some things to talk about. First, we're going to talk about some coaching updates. We'll talk about some college football coaching updates. We're going to touch on a couple things before we touch on the big story that everybody wants to hear.
The biggest one. Let me get this out the way. For those that are Michigan fans, and we'll get into y'all situation early, you're not getting Kalen DeBoer. He's already said that multiple times. Please quit trying. Anybody else that gets fired that's in a major program, you're not getting. If you ask
a Michigan fan who is coming to Michigan, it is either our options are Kalen. I say "are" like I'm a Michigan fan. Their options are Kalen DeBoer, Nick Saban, Andy Reid. Every big name coach out there is apparently an option to be their head coach, which I don't know about that. So we'll see where that actually goes. I don't know who's going to be their head coach. This puts them in a really interesting spot because a lot of the big candidates are already off the table. Kiffin is already gone, and that's a situation in its own. That one gets messier by the day. Summerall's in Florida. Franklin's over in Virginia Tech. Shout out to James Madison for taking Billy off of our hands. We appreciate you.
And I think there was another guy who, I'm trying to think, he took a job. I think in the
Golesh is at Auburn.
Yep. Who?
Alex Golesh, the USF coach. He's at Auburn.
Who? Oh, the guy that caused Bama a little bit of a headache. Got it.
The guy who beat Florida too. That's actually, I like that hire for them. I really do.
No, here's the thing. They will never beat those allegations. They will hire anybody that's either beaten or given a headache to Bama.
That's how I feel about Cody Schrader bouncing around from team to team that's about to play the Jaguars. That's hilarious to me.
Yeah.
Which I like Cody. Cody's a good running back. I like Cody. I got no disrespect towards him.
Look, we know what the biggest story in the coaching world is. It's Lane Kiffin.
As I put Sharon Moore on the screen. Well, do we want to touch on Lane? Do we want to do Sharon first?
We'll touch Lane. We're not going. We'll touch that one a little another time.
All right, I'll pull Sharon off the screen when we talk about Lane.
Yeah,
Lane's situation is messy because he
never had a non-messy situation though.
Completely agree. Lane is the king of messy breakups. To me, the way it looks like it's gone down, based on what I've been able to read and pull up, his big presser that he did at the end was like 70% cap, somewhere right around there. Like I feel like that's a healthy estimate. He claims someone ran him off the road. The police said that they had no report of any incident like that, even though he claimed to file a police report.
What, in Baton Rouge or Oxford?
In Oxford.
Okay.
On his way to the plane. The Mississippi police said that I think Mississippi State Troopers said they had no report of that, and I might be wrong on that story. He said that the players begged him to stay, and there's a lot of players who have come out and said that that's not even remotely close to true. He said it was the athletic director is the reason why he didn't stay, and the athletic director has also hinted at things that in his press conference that weren't true. And I'm very, very interested to see what the transfer portal looks like for them. How many players actually leave and go there from Ole Miss? Because I'm going to be honest with you, man. I don't. The only one I really think it could be is Trinidad Chambliss. But even then, if Garrett Nussmeier's still there, I don't think that job is as open as people think it is.
And I know, and we'll touch more on Ole Miss a little bit later on in the show, especially when we were doing our predictions for the college football playoffs.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's about 50-50 because I get it morality-wise, like the team is ticked off that he just dipped right before they played a playoff game. But at the same time, like NIL speaks.
It does.
So, like, I'm thinking, like, yeah, there's not gonna be a lot of guys from Ole Miss that are going to LSU, but I can see a lot of guys going to LSU that's coming from Ole Miss. So they're mad now, but like, shoot, once LSU start writing them checks, it's gonna be a different story. Here's another thing:
money always talks.
Now, I'm not sure how much true the reports are for the coaching staff that, like the whole rant that Lane had with the coaching staff about, like, said, hey, if you don't get on the plane with me, you're not gonna have no job. I don't know how true that is, so I'm not gonna get too much on that one. But if it was true, like that's some low down crap.
I believe it. I really do. And I people are gonna talk about me being two-faced on this. I did want Lane. I really did. Because I thought that offensively he could do really,
I thought he was
well.
gonna be perfect there.
I did too. Here's my thing though, and I'll pull this up while I'm thinking about it. But like my biggest thing with it too is like with the more and more things come out about it, I'm not as tore up about it. I'm really not as tore up about it.
All right, but tell me about your coach. Like, why you feel good about this guy?
I feel confident about Summerall, and the reason why I feel confident about Summerall is he has said, and again, words are words, but he has said everything correctly. He has said all the right things. He has said everything that he's supposed to say, which that makes me very, very happy.
Yeah.
So we'll see where this all plays out. He's made the right hires. He's come out and said, he's like, listen, like, I'm here. This is what I'm doing. I think he had a tweet the other day that says 2 jobs, 2 phones, and 2 hours of sleep. Because yes, he is focused on Tulane being in the playoff, but he's also like, he understands he's leaving.
It's no big secret. Look, I know about Lane Kiffin back during his times when he was in Tuscaloosa. A lot of folks will always rumor and say, "Hey, he wants the Bama job," and I'm not going to say like he doesn't, but at the same time, I'm like, if you're a Bama fan now, why the heck would you want him? And we'll have another conversation about like Alabama fans and their feelings towards Kalen DeBoer. I'm not gonna get too much in that. This conversation about Lane Kiffin, at least for now, the thing with him that I always knock is the fact that there's never any loyalty when it comes to college football, but when it comes to Lane Kiffin, it's always gonna be messy. There's always gonna be some type of conflict. It's never gonna be peaceful, and and that happens. But it's LSU. I didn't think it was going to be a better job than Florida simply because, like, you got the governor getting involved with the program, and I don't think that's a good idea. But it is what it is, and they do things differently down in the bayou. So can he turn it around? He can. It's just going to be tough.
We'll see.
We're going to see. I mean, it's going to be a busy off season for a lot of teams, but they got to know. I don't know the NIL profit or revenue, but we're gonna see.
And I like what Summerall's done for his offensive hires and defensive hires. He said the offense is gonna be entirely different than what he ran at Tulane. He said that he's gonna bring the best coordinators and coaches he could possibly bring in. He wants the alumni to be involved. He wants them to come back. He wants them to be a part of the program again, which makes me wonder why they weren't when Napier was there, but that's a different argument for today. He got Buster Faulkner, who is the Georgia Tech offensive coordinator, took Brad White from Kentucky, took the O-line coach from Penn State and Phil Troutwine, who is a former Gator and is a good recruiter in the state. He took Brandon Harris from UCF, who Brandon Harris was literally about to take the Florida State job from what I was able to gather.
Mm-hmm.
And then he decided to come to Florida. And then he kept Gerard Chatham, who is the only defensive line coach, or the only coach to be kept for the most part. He was on our defensive line, and our defensive line was one of our strong points last year. I like what he's doing. I like the moves he's making. I like everything he's saying. And he's sold me at this point. He's said that, there's apparently coaches and other people who are in this, Power 5 sort of, or Power 4 group who were like, yeah, he could have come up a year or two ago, but he wanted the right fit, and he views this as the right fit. He's bringing in Buster Faulkner, who had a top 25 offense this year. Georgia Tech had a top 25 offense. Am I making that number up?
Probably, or probably not. I didn't really keep track of
Georgia Tech's offense was nice, and he can lean on Jaden Baugh, and whoever is going to be quarterback is going to be fine. But we'll get into the transfer portal in a minute because we do have to talk about this.
Hold on. Before we do, I don't think we're talking about James Franklin of Virginia Tech enough. I just want to give him a shout out. I think he's going to do a tremendous job because, again, we know the current state of the ACC. It is, as you quoted, it is buns.
It is buns.
And nobody's going, and like the fact that Duke won the ACC championship game.
I'm getting flashbacks to.
Yeah, the fact that
Duke won buns.
The fact that Duke won the the ACC championship game,
which
and
is
nobody
crazy.
at ACC is in the playoffs. It goes to show you right now it's a free for all. We don't know what we don't know what Clemson's going to be in the future. We expect them to still be able to turn it around with Dabo, but again, we don't know. Georgia Tech, same thing. Pitt, nobody cares. Notre Dame, they don't know like Notre Dame. I don't feel bad one bit.
Notre Dame is technically not. You joined a conference, Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Y'all picked your schedule and you picked that.
Yeah. So, and I'm trying to think who else. But in Miami, scratch that. My bad. Miami's in the playoffs, so shout out to them.
Solid.
But trying to think, like, shoot, potentially they might be getting another quarterback that's coming out of SEC, but we'll talk about that a little bit later.
We'll see.
My thing is, big shout out to James Franklin. Hopefully he's able to turn around at Virginia Tech because that's a nice, good football. That's a really good football program. And that's a really good football atmospheres over there. Now, you ready?
Let's do it. We got to talk Sharon more. So we're going to talk about Sharon. This is why you watch live, people. Listen to this on audio and go back and watch it on YouTube. Go check it out there. We are going to talk about how Michigan has fired Sharon Moore. And I want to stress that all of the chaos around the firing, before we get into some of the details of it, all of the chaos around this firing to me, and what I don't feel like a lot of people realize, it all happened in like 36 hours.
Yep.
Like this man imploded. And we're going to, before we get into everything, what frustrates me the most about the situation and what I feel like isn't being talked about enough, we're going to talk about, you know what, let's just get right into it.
Let's just get into it. So, per ESPN, the former Michigan football coach Sharon Moore faces 3 criminal charges as his arraignment last Friday revealed details of his actions that led to him being arrested and jailed hours after he was fired Wednesday. This man literally spiraled after he got fired, which fair because everything he did came to light, and we're going to touch on it a little bit. Prosecutors charged Moore with felony third-degree home invasion and 2 misdemeanors, which were stalking in a domestic relationship and breaking and entering. Apparently, he broke into his we'll talk about that in a second. Moore was released from jail after meeting the $25,000 bond, and the arraignment and charges offered a window into Moore's actions after he was fired for, cause due to an inappropriate relationship with a staffer or staff member. Sorry, the ticker's a little bit slower than my reading, but we're gonna keep that scrolling across the screen because that is very, very interesting. We're gonna get rid of the coaching update, and we're gonna bring this one to frame. Are you taking a picture of this? I'm making sure that my hands are being shown.
Anyways, so apparently Sharon Moore, I can't wait to send the screenshot to my buddy. Sharon Moore had an affair with his executive assistant. And there's details that I can't confirm, so I don't want to get too into it. Apparently, it spirals way beyond that. His wife found out. The university obviously fired him for it. I don't like that they did it after National Signing Day. That adds just an extra layer of gross to this to me. The whole thing's gross, but that just adds a little extra layer of how the university, I feel, didn't actually care and knew about this way before the news actually broke, because there's no way they didn't. And now they're doing an internal investigation, or they're doing an investigation internally. I don't know if it's because of, I don't know if it's an internal investigation, if they're hiring an outside source to do it. If it's an internal investigation, this is a joke and they don't actually care and they're just doing it to save face.
Let me get into it.
Okay. I want to touch on one more thing before I let you get into it. He apparently broke into his the person he was having an affair with house, stole butter knives out of her drawer, and said that he was going to unalive himself and that it would be her fault. And that's why he got arrested. So all you, while I drop my pen, all you.
Take it off the screen. I don't want to look at this dude. Mind you, Caleb, I know you've already talked about it before on his TikTok. If you don't know, follow Caleb Green. It's Caleb. When I heard the news, I'm gonna be myself, but at the same time try to be serious at the same time. First things first, he has kids. He has daughters.
He does.
At that. What type of example are you setting?
An awful one.
The answer is none. You're setting a bad example.
Yes.
Number one. Number two, you are a black man at the University of Michigan. And I guarantee you, when Jim Harbaugh escaped NCAA and they said, and he told Michigan, hire you, you were not only just representing yourself, your family, your name, where you come from, as well as Jim Harbaugh, but also just any other African American black man that is trying to look to get a head coaching job. It's fair but unfair, but that's the world that we live in, especially when it comes to dealing with those high profile jobs. And now back to the unseriousness. Bro, there's a reason why I don't play in snow. Snow can get you in trouble. And that joker lives in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and it snows a lot.
What did you say? Whose opinion were you very interested in hearing when we were talking on the phone earlier? Do we drag him into this? Because we know he's got an opinion.
Got it. Go RG3.
There it is.
Bro, when this news broke out, my immediate reaction was like, you cheating on your wife with that.
I knew it was going to get crazier, which is why I'm glad we didn't record when the news broke, because part of me was like,
we try to get the information, we try to do right.
Part of me was like, yo, we need to go live today. This is crazy. But the other part of me is like, we're going to get, and there's more and more coming out that we can't confirm, so we're not going to get into it.
Look, if there's ever come a time where we need to go live immediately to talk about something, shoot, we go live and talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Point blank, simple.
Like a Jaguars Seahawks Super Bowl. That is inherently possible.
Man, it's possible.
That might be the first in-person episode, so we can trash talk each other.
It's possible.
It's possible, but
dog,
I mean,
this is crazy. Like, you have a golden opportunity. You literally fumbled the bag, money wise, but you also messed up your whole life. And
he ruined his life, and it's his fault.
Bruh, I grew up in church. I was always taught what lusting is about.
Mm-hmm.
It may look good and feel good for a short term, but in the long run, it's gonna be bad.
I will say that part of this is on, I want to be very, very clear. I do feel like part of this is on the other person to a degree, But the vast majority of this, I'd say 90% of this is on Sharon. Because there's no way she didn't know he was married with kids. I can tell you, as somebody who's worked around athletic departments, every staff member, there's pictures of family and everything like that. Like, there's no way that wasn't known. So doing that knowingly is crazy. He is. There's more and more coming out about him where he's allegedly a really garbage person.
Look,
I'm laughing because I'm uncomfortable.
That's how we cope, and I'm making bad lame jokes because I'm uncomfortable. Because I'm like, bro, and I know we got to move on. Is that sets a lot of things back. Now Michigan's on a coaching search. They're probably going to be losing guys once the portal hit.
Yep,
they got to get ready for a bowl. They got to get ready for a bowl game.
Without their head coach.
You're going, like, not only did you get fired, you got arrested along with it. Like, understand this. A lot of us, and I'm talking to me, folks that look like me, when we're able to get opportunities, we have to be careful with them every which way. Everybody doesn't have those same privileges to be able to mess up and get another chance like most folks are. That's just life. And with him, it's like, bro, you not only messed up, you messed up 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 too many times. And I'm like, dang. It's really it's crazy, and it's more so than not, it's sad.
It is. It's crazy and it's sad, and I feel for the wife and the kids more than anybody.
I feel bad for the kids, man.
I feel
bad for daughters.
The kids. I feel bad for the kids, and I feel bad for the wife because I don't put any of that on them. Like,
you have
that's
daughters,
crazy.
dog.
He selfishly ruined their life, 100%, and then tried to blame the other person that it was her fault. It's like, no, sir. No. But anyways, we gotta move on a little bit. Or speaking of transfer portal, let's hop right into it. Biggest news of the portal cycle so far: DJ Lagway is leaving the University of Florida potentially. So for me, as a Florida fan, and I commented on a Georgia fans post earlier about this, and I'll say the same thing I said there. I don't know how to feel about this. Because to me, with Lagway, the name of the game and his biggest issue at Florida was always consistency. He would make some throws, and it reminds me of Trevor Lawrence from earlier in his career, because it's one of those things where it's like he would make a throw where it's like, how did you do that? Like, I could think of 2 quarterbacks who could make that throw, and you're one of them. Like, that's crazy. And then he'd make another throw where it's like, what was that? Like, that might have been the worst throw I've ever seen. The biggest thing with DJ is consistency. The tools are there. Everything is there. The ceiling is incredibly high on the guy. But can he put it all together and put all the pieces together and actually turn into the quarterback he has the potential to be? And I think if he goes to the right situation, he can. I'm going to tell you right now, so this is per On3, the big 3 schools to watch, and I'm going to throw a 4th in there. Just as a complete dark horse. The big 3 schools to watch per Pete Nakos for On3 or Nakos. I might be saying his name wrong, which if I am Pete, I apologize.
I think it's Nakos.
Nakos, I thought so, but I don't want to be wrong. Baylor, LSU, and Miami. I don't think it's going to be LSU. And here's why I don't think it's going to be LSU. I don't think it's going to be LSU because if Garrett Nussmeier is still there, I'm not saying he's the best quarterback on the team, but I'm saying it's very, very hard to dethrone the incumbent QB1. He's also going to potentially have to compete with Trinidad Chambliss if he were to transfer to LSU. And there's also, I believe, a 5-star quarterback they just got. I might be making that up, but I'm pretty sure there's too many potential things there. And to me, you transfer for 3 reasons: playing time, playoff potential, to be close to home.
All right, real quick. So let's go into details. Let's go into a little bit more details with this. I think with Lagway, obviously he didn't have the best career or the career that he wanted to during his time in Florida.
Of course not.
If he does decide to go ahead and move on, I think wherever he goes, if it's gonna be those three, you understand the opportunity, but they don't have at LSU. It's gonna be a competition, but I feel like it shouldn't be because I don't believe Garrett Nussmeier is that good. That's number one.
But DJ
Miami,
threw 5 picks against LSU. That's the thing. The
yeah.
man
So if
had
you
14
can't be,
touchdowns and
if you
15
can't, if you can't,
interceptions.
if you can't beat them, join them. Like that's how it's looking. Um, as far as Miami goes, there's really not much I can really think about as far as what there because we know Carson Beck is done.
Carson Beck's gone. They've got a decent receiving core.
They got a really good receiving core, and they're going to be in. It's the ACC,
Yep. So it's a
so
weaker conference.
that's one benefit. You go to a lesser conference and have a better chance to win. Then you go into Baylor, which is in the Big 12, and a slightly more competitive conference compared to the ACC. But you're going to have offensive firepower. Like Baylor is known for the air raid. Like I think the air raid was basically almost invented there in Baylor. So that'll be a good spot. And how far is Waco from like his hometown?
2 hours.
Okay, so either way, his family's going to be close enough to be able to come see him. But
Mhm.
like, when you're a 5 star, I feel like you don't have that much problem as far as trying to get family to come see you. But it
No.
depends on just where his head is at and like what he wants to do with with the rest of his college career. Because like he's going to be eligible for the draft next year, so
Yep.
wherever he goes is going to be incumbent upon what he does next season.
Do you want to know my dark horse school?
What's up?
James Madison.
No,
Will he follow Billy to
probably not.
JMU?
Probably
I'm
not.
saying it is an option. I don't think he does it, but it's an option. To me, I think he goes to JMU before he goes to LSU, which might be a stupid take, and I'm probably going to get flamed for this, but whatever. I think Baylor is the first choice.
Okay.
Miami's the second choice.
All right.
LSU is the third choice
If you had to
in
add a
this list.
fourth and a fifth, what would it be?
I told you JMU is my fourth.
Okay.
JMU might be my fifth. And the reason why
He's not gonna downgrade that much. I would say
I could the one option I could potentially see, because there's a couple other things that are happening. There's potential for Sam Levitt to leave ASU. If Levitt leaves ASU, I think that goes. I think it depends on where the transfer portal cards lie. If
but also
Levitt leaves ASU, that opens up the door for DJ to go there because they're a similar style of quarterback. Not the same, similar. I also think if Connor Wegman leaves Houston, DJ can go to Houston because Willis, Texas is where he's from. That's outside of Houston. It's literally between College Station and Houston. The only reason why I don't think he goes to College Station is because of who, Jalen?
Malik Reed, Marcel Reed.
Mm-hmm. I don't think
All
he
right,
has a shot at beating Marcel Reed,
all right. Let me ask
especially
you
after the
this.
season's coming off of. That's his job
Let's
to lose.
all right. Let me ask you this. Let's reevaluate the Texas schools who are like Texas Tech. That's currently the number four seed in the college football playoff.
I
What year
believe
is
their
their
quarterback's a junior, and I don't see him leaving.
okay? Let's say if he does go, let's see if the quarterback balls out enough. Because remember, this is a weak quarterback class.
It
This
is.
is like if you don't have a whole lot of hype going into this class, you got a good opportunity if you ball out in the college football playoffs to be able to take one of those, unlike be able to position yourself into being a high draft pick. So that's a possibility. Um, so that kind of opens up the door for possibly Texas Tech.
Oh, Texas Tech has 2 senior quarterbacks. I misspoke.
Okay, there you go.
You've got Mitch Griffiths and Baron Morton. So Baron Morton is apparently I'd have to look into that.
So like that's why I'm saying Texas Tech should be like within consideration as well as far as being a 5
That's fair.
or be a team that would reach out if he's a Texas kid. We already know A&M and Texas like Longhorns are out of the picture,
100%.
but those would be the two that I would think of between Baylor and like Texas Tech if that were to be the situation.
Go ahead.
Outside of that, what's the situation at USC?
I think Baylor, just based on this list, I think Baylor makes a lot of sense.
I get that, but at the same time, I'm also thinking like you look what Lincoln Riley has done with quarterbacks and still producing them into the NFL.
He's not going to LSU
Or
USC. Sorry,
I guess, but I'm thinking like, what is his ultimate goal? Is it to win or a win and develop, win or develop? like what's his ultimate goal? That's the question I got for right now. But we'll see. Time
We'll see what he
goes
does.
on. Yeah, we'll see what to do.
We'll see what he does. All right. Well, let's get into some playoff drama.
Yeah.
So we'll put this on the stage real quick. This is the current college football playoff bracket. Jalen, I have 2 questions for you. One of them I want you to answer honestly.
We're not talking about the SEC championship. We already moved on from it.
Do you think Bama should have stayed the 9 seed?
Yep.
I firmly disagree with you.
I know you do.
I firmly disagree with you. And it's not because
I know you do. Move on.
It's not because I want to poke fun at you or mess with you.
Go ahead.
It's not. I don't think you can be I don't think you can lose and be in. Now, I don't think Notre Dame should have been in either. I think if you go based on strength of schedule, Texas should be in at that spot.
The reason why, again, it's already been stated, you're not going to penalize a team that was in the conference championship game.
Right, for sure. I think the rules go up for debate next year.
Now, again, a lot of folks can make the same claim for BYU why they didn't get in. Let me move this out the way. A lot of folks can make the same claim about BYU and why they didn't get in. Here's the biggest difference. Nobody had a better resume than Alabama. You beat Georgia at Georgia, ended a 33-game winning streak with the Bulldogs. You beat Vanderbilt, they were ranked. You beat Missouri, they were ranked. You beat Tennessee, they were ranked. Do I need to say more? Nobody has beaten 4 ranked teams in one season. Alabama did that. So you're not going to keep them out because they got the best record. Because if you do, if the college football committee did that, then you're going to mess up future scheduling for potential big games that are non-conference. And in the NCAA, ESPN, they need that. They want that money. That's why the whole theme of like college like conference championship games don't matter. That's BS because that money matters to them. So therefore, they're not going anywhere. You cannot penalize that. So that's why I'm saying like Bama should have gotten in or solidified it based on not the conference championship game. When they beat Auburn the week prior, that secured their spot. Now, if you want them 10 or 11 or 12, I'm fine with that. Long as they're in because we got the resume.
So I'm looking at this now. I'm looking at you guys technically did have a stronger schedule than Texas. That's a fair point. According to
Texas didn't have no signature wins outside of Vanderbilt.
Yeah, that's fair.
Scratch that. A&M. Okay.
According to team rankings, Indiana had the toughest schedule. Indiana had the toughest schedule, followed by Ohio State, then Oregon, then Bama, then Texas, then Florida, then Georgia. We'll do the top 10. Then Oklahoma, then A&M, then Iowa. Iowa? That surprised to me. All right, whatever. But that is apparently the toughest schedules per 2025-2026. So I guess I see the Bama point. But we'll move on from that. How do you feel about How do you feel about G5 schools getting a shot?
I don't knock it. I'm not going to discredit them like most folks are. Are there more like P5s that like deserve them spots more than the G5s? You can make a case. I feel like one is fine, but I really hope that we get into a situation where we can have like a G5 wild card game or play-in game, where rather than you have Tulane or JMU in there at the same time, you have those two play each other out the same week of the Army and Navy game, basically during college football dead week. Now, albeit the Army and Navy game is dedicated for just Army and Navy,
correct.
But you got to be able to find some type of equalizer within that standpoint alone, and you got to have those like other spots for the most not deserving but most earned. And I don't knock Tulane and JMU being in there. Is you get like I'm thinking of the mindset of the NCAA and the college football. Like you're trying to get the best games to a certain degree. You're trying to get like the best teams, the ones that have earned it, and then like you're also trying to get the best games.
I'm not opposed to it, and the reason why I'm not opposed to it is because it gives these G5 schools something to work for towards the end of it. It gives them a shot at doing something crazy, because what is one of your favorite things to watch during March Madness?
Upsets.
The school of like 4,000 students making a push into the Elite Eight. Like, that's exciting. And I think that them doing this and having one or two G5 schools in here allows that to happen. It allows that to be a thing. It allows that to sort of it allows that to exist, which I like. I like that a lot. I like that it gives them a shot at something. And who knows? Tulane could beat Ole Miss. JMU could beat Oregon. Will it happen? Probably not. But it's possible, and that's what I like. But let's do contender or pretender for each one. See which one you think. Let's pull that back up. We'll do our predictions and we'll go from there. Bama versus Oklahoma. I already know who you think.
I'm going Bama.
Going Bama. Did y'all beat Oklahoma earlier?
Nope, they beat us. Really good defense, but their offense is just so anemic.
We'll see how it plays out. I think Oklahoma beats y'all, but I think they lose to Indiana. I got Cignetti winning it all this year with Indiana. I mean, Google him, he wins.
I get that, but shoot. Look, if they match up against Ohio State or Georgia, like I'm picking them. I'm picking them to beat them.
I mean, they already beat Ohio State, but anyways, we can move on. JMU versus Oregon. Who you got?
Oregon.
I'm with Oregon too. And then let's do A&M versus Miami.
Let's go A&M.
I'm with you. Tulane versus Ole Miss.
Gonna go Ole Miss.
Give me Tulane.
Look, here's the thing.
Give me Tulane.
I'm not a big fan of Pete Golden. Pete Golden is a tremendous recruiter. Coaching wise, based off experience, not that great.
He's a good defensive coach, but that's about it. Give me Tulane. I think Tulane could pull something off here. That'd be fun. Give me an upset. All right. So Ohio State, A&M. Who you got?
Who?
Ohio State or A&M? Who you got?
Let's see. There's gonna be a neutral site game. I'm gonna go A&M. I'm gonna go with the upset.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I think A&M goes as far as Marcel Reed can take them, and I think A&M can pull this off. I like Elko too. Georgia versus whoever you think wins that game. I'm with you. I think Georgia wins that game. Oregon versus Texas Tech.
I'm gonna go Oregon, and I respect Texas. I respect Texas Tech, especially that linebacker.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go Tech.
I'm going Oregon in that one.
I'm gonna go Tech. Indiana versus whoever we think wins. I got Indiana.
Roll Tide.
Yeah, well, I know you have to say that. Indiana's got it. All right, so you now have Bama versus Tech.
Yep.
Who?
Bama.
You're out of your mind.
I know.
Indiana's going to beat Texas Tech. That defense is just too good. I got A&M beat. Has A&M played Georgia this year? I don't think they did.
No, they never played Georgia.
I think A&M could beat Georgia.
I do too.
I got an Indiana A&M.
I do too because of the quarterback.
I got an Indiana versus A&M playoff, and I think Indiana can do it. I think Indiana wins their college football playoff.
And you already know I'm rolling with the Tide.
I know you are. All right, let's get some NFL updates real quick. Let's get this one off the screen.
Yeah.
We have to talk about it. This is the one I wanted you to see.
He's balling right now. Simply put,
Trev is balling.
He's balling right now. But like, dog, the big story to me is the NFC West.
NFC West is crazy.
Take that off real quick, bro. You got the Rams and the Seahawks that are going to battle it out Thursday night. Both are 11-3 for not just for the number one spot in the division, but the number one seed in the conference. And they're playing both squads are playing really good football. Well, except for Seattle, they had a couple of hiccups on offense, but that's a whole lot of coaching and a whole lot of play calling that's got to get fixed. Defensively, they've been one of the top teams in the league. But you also got to remember what happened the week prior. You got to remember what happened in the last game. And then the last game, Seattle still had a chance to be able to win against the Rams, even though they was down by 4. Scratch that. Even though like Sam Darnold threw 4 interceptions, they were still down by 2 with a chance for a game-winning field goal. And Jason Myers is definitely capable of knocking down a clutch field goal. But to be honest with you, we shouldn't have been in that position to begin with. To only lose to the Rams again, you only lose to the Rams by 2 while throwing 4 interceptions. So I'm of the mindset: what if you cut down those turnovers, you don't turn the ball over, your defense still does what it's supposed to do because you're going against an MVP and Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay. You win that game. To me, you dominate. But your offense got to be able to do its job, and they got to play a whole lot better in the first half. Second half, I'm not worried about it because we've proven that we can't score in the second half. So we just got to be able to fix those things. But like, yeah, dog, the Niners are still right there. The Seahawks are where they are, and then again, you got the Rams who got the number 1 spot. The NFC West is loaded, and I'm looking forward to Thursday night.
Let's not step away. And before
Night.
we get to that, I do want to shout out one of your buddies because you went to a Falcons game recently.
I did.
So we got someone in the comments who looks like you know.
Y'all.
So throw that up on the screen. So Big Low Country says, good to see the Falcons game, Jalen. Let me know if y'all ever need any help with the YouTube journey. We might take you up on that. We'll see where that goes. Anyways, honestly, I think both of our divisions are absolutely crazy this year. The AFC South currently has 3 teams that are in the playoff hunt. 3 teams in the playoff hunt. And I cannot begin to tell you the last time that happened because I don't truly remember. I think the Jags, this comes down to Jags and Houston. And you guys will see me crash out if we allow Houston to come back into this division. We currently have a half-game lead on them. I need the Chargers to do something funny, or I need Uncle Phil to treat the Texans like they're Jazz and throw them out of the house.
Texans are playing good football.
That's what I need. And they are. They're playing great. I'm not trying to take anything away from Houston.
No, the defense is playing great. The offense is playing a whole lot better because, like, what they did with the well, everybody does this against
Cardinals are good, and they're starting 75% of their team. That's crazy to me. But and again, it's not that they're a bad team by any stretch. But to me, I think this Jacksonville team is different. I'm going to put the stat up here too because it's crazy. Since the bye week, the Jags are 6-1. Trevor Lawrence has 18 total touchdowns, over 1,700 yards. And I believe it's a 130. I got to check that passer rating because his passer rating is crazy. Hold on. Because I got to pull this up because that passer rating to me was ridiculous. He has he is the only player in NFL history with 5+ touchdown passes, 1 rushing touchdown, and 50 rushing yards in a single game. So that's a fact. And I don't know what his QBR or anything is but he's been playing like a top 5, top 10 quarterback.
He's been balling right now.
He's been balling.
Especially losing one of your most talented players.
And this is without Travis.
Yep.
Without Travis Hunter.
Now, let's go to trying to think who's been another impressive team. So, what's your feeling towards you got to play the Broncos? What's your feeling towards the Broncos going into the playoffs?
I think the Broncos, and I'll say it. The biggest thing for me when it comes to the Broncos that frustrates me is nobody is taking into effect the NFL strength of schedule. Yes, the Broncos have done really, really well this season. Good for them. Guess what? They currently have the 28th hardest schedule in all of professional football. And they're still barely winning games. It's not that they're not a dangerous team. Bo Nix, I owe an apology. He's been balling. Good for him. I thought you were going to fail. Congrats. You still look like you set stuff on fire and stick forks in light sockets. But you're making millions of dollars and can prove me, do whatever you want. Good for you, man. Seriously. Happy to be wrong. There's rarely anybody I want to fail. There's a few, but we won't get into that. But for me, like Denver, I don't think is truly as good as their record shows. I think Jacksonville could walk into Mile High and beat them. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but you have to take into account that the Jaguars defense has only allowed 1 70-yard rusher all season. Do you know who it was?
Ooh.
MVP candidate Jonathan Taylor. And it was by like 10 yards. So the only running back to ever get more than 70 yards on us was Jonathan Taylor, who is to me, a perennial MVP candidate. The defense,
He's kind of died down. It's kind of died down right now. I think it's just a 2-man race for MVP.
I still think Jonathan Taylor's the best running back in football right now.
Also, shout out to Myles Garrett for tying Michael Strahan's record.
Good for him. Good for Myles. If you're gonna get paid, you might as well do something.
Literally, the only good thing about Cleveland right now. Even though
been doing okay.
And like that's just a whole bunch of controversy and a whole bunch of mess. But
that's a whole different episode. That's a whole different episode. I think Jacksonville. The biggest question mark I have on our schedule coming up is Denver, because I think we can beat Houston. Or sorry, I don't think we can beat Houston. I know we can beat the Titans again, and I think we can beat the Colts and Indy again, because this is a very different team coming out of the bye week.
Do you feel like this is going to be the final? Like we got 3 weeks left, and I know we got in the show. We got 3 weeks left. So right now, the way the picture is looking, do you see this being the final picture?
No, I don't.
What do you expect to change?
I don't know if I see. We talked about this last time. I don't know if I can see the Bears in it, and I don't know if I can see Tampa in it. Tampa's not been playing good.
Dog. Well, here's the thing: that Tampa wouldn't be in it if the Panthers would have beat the Saints. So that's number one. We still gotta wait and see on that one. That's number one. With the Bears, dog, I don't see nobody jumping them. The Lions lost to the Rams. That pushed them further back. And then the Cowboys are just one Eagles win away from being eliminated altogether.
I don't trust this Bears team. I don't know what it is. I don't trust this Bears team, and Tampa is not playing well. And I think Todd Bowles is losing the locker room if he hasn't lost it already.
Yeah.
But that's just me. And Houston's going to stay on here for the AFC East, or for the AFC. Houston's going to stay on here. Chargers are going to stay on here because Kansas City is not going to be in the playoffs this year, so the Chargers don't leave.
Yeah, that one's done, and I think we'll talk about that one another
NFC
time.
North is the question mark.
Michael Parsons torn ACL. Patrick Mahomes torn ACL. There's a lot of guys with a lot of season-ending injuries, and then that poses the question, what's the problem? And there's a lot of different theories that go into it. We ain't got enough time to be able to do it. But again, going back to this picture right now, here's where I can see a lot of things changing. Team-wise, the only team that I could possibly see of not being in the playoffs at this current state in time is the Buccaneers, depending on how everything goes between them and the Carolina Panthers. Other than that, that positioning is. I'm looking at the NFC and the NFC first before I go to AFC. Mm-hmm. So to me, and this is just my personal opinion, I think Seattle's going to get the number 1 seed. They'll find a way to run the table. It's either going to be Seattle or it's going to be the Rams. Either way, an NFC West team is going to head to the NFC South. That's number 1. I don't think Philly is going to move up. Well, Philly could possibly get the number 2 seed because Green Bay got to go to Chicago, and I think Chicago might get payback. So that's another thing. Maybe Green Bay and Philly can swap, and you get that matchup between the Niners and the Packers, or Niners and Eagles. Either way, it'll be a solid, really good 3-6 matchup. That's about the only changes I got. Now to the AFC side. That was first off, bad loss by the Patriots. Mm-hmm. Bad loss to the Patriots, in my opinion. Because you had that wide gap, and you're going against a Josh Allen-led squad. Yeah, you got to kill them.
You blew it.
Yeah, literally. And with the Denver Broncos, look, they got a top 5 defense, top 3 defense. Might not be number 1, might not be number 3, might not be number 2, but they got a top 3 defense, and the offense just does enough to win, and that bodes a long way, especially when you got an experienced head coach. Pittsburgh is not going to have that spot long. No. That's going to be Baltimore, I believe.
I think both 4 seeds
I wouldn't be surprised if they get that spot as well.
Both 4 seeds are the change I see happening. I don't see the Chargers leaving.
Yeah, Chargers are not going to win the division. Buffalo, I don't see New England losing another game, but that's neither here nor there. And right now it's just about between you and Houston. I think the picture is set. The only thing that I can see changing is the Steelers being out, the Ravens going in, and the Bucks being out and the Panthers going in. That's about it.
I think the picture is set. The seating might be different.
Yes, the seating will be different.
The seating might be different, but I can see Pittsburgh and Tampa not being in it. I will lose my mind if we let Houston back into the top of the conference, because I will never hear the end of it.
Yep.
And I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yep.
I can't do it. All right. Well, let's end on a note. It is the Cena send-off. John Cena has officially retired, a 17-time world champion, 5-time U.S. champion, 4-time tag team champion, 2-time Royal Rumble winner, and the Intercontinental champion.
The man's a bad man.
Which is crazy because all I see are stats. There's no one in this picture.
None.
How do you feel about the way the fight ended? Because I heard he lost, which I feel like is a weird send-off.
He didn't just lose; he tapped out. John Cena, I don't recall John Cena ever tapping out or ever saying "I quit."
I don't like that. That scene. I
don't either.
Triple H.
They booed him crazy, but Triple H, he don't care.
Wow.
He got all the money in the world. He got all the money in the world. He got all the fame. He got the wife. He got his family. Dude's good with life. He knows how to be able to take the heat. But he caught so much heat last night, where to the point there were a lot of people who were ticked off with the crowd for making it, not last night, but Saturday night. There were so many people that was ticked off with the crowd because they made it all about Triple H rather than glorify John Cena. And I get where they're coming from on that one, but at the same time, we didn't care the way that it went down. I would have been okay with a pinfall, just like when Gunther took down Goldberg. Also, shout out to Gunther. He's making himself into a legend killer of his own right. But for John Cena, I get him possibly losing his last match. I understand that. My issue, that's the only part that I don't like. Even if he called it, I'm not going to like it because he's been too great to go out like that.
Yeah,
but
no, I hear you.
All salute, all respect to the greatest of all time, the Never Seen 17, the Chain Gang Master, the leader of C Nation, and the father of a lot of people that helped raise. He was a lot of our childhood.
Fair. And I mean, you got to respect it. So, and on that note, we wish it was different, but it is good for him. I hope he enjoys retirement.
Yep.
And yeah, you got anything else you want to get to, man?
Nah, man.
Let's do it. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for sticking with us, even though we went a little bit long. We really do appreciate it. If you like the show, you know what to do. Back. Yeah, it's good to be back. If you like the show, rate 5 stars, whatever podcast platform we listen to, Spotify, Apple, Good Pods, anything like that. We're on all of them. Just rate 5 stars, review. Don't know why it works, but it does. It feeds the algorithm gods, keeps driving us up those sports charts. If you don't like the show, that's fine. We appreciate you giving us a shot in an hour of your time, but there's no reason to leave a negative review. It doesn't help you or us. You just don't listen again. Cool. It's good. We appreciate it. Thanks for the time. But if you did like the show, you want to hear more about it, you want to interact with us more, obviously you can tune in live over on YouTube at TDSN Pod. You can follow us on Twitter, X, whatever the heck you want to call it, at TDSN Pod over there. And that's where you're going to get the most of our interaction. You'll also see we post there live before we ever go live. Get the notifications on YouTube so you can know when we go live. And if you rate 5 stars, if you reshare the show and you let us know you rated 5 stars, because I don't always see it, you get a shout out at the end. Shout outs are always fun. We appreciate the support. And you also get a shout out if there is a show that we think you'll like if you like ours. So shout outs as always. Go check out Jim over Fan of the Van. Him and I do a show called Steel and Teal that we'll get back eventually as soon as things slow down for me. Go talk to Brent over 1420 Sports, Aaron over Brilliant Sports, Darian over Chill Takes, or IAP Radio, Eman over at Avatar Sports. Him and Jim do show at Cigar and Sports. Go check that out as well. Always go check out Sports After Dark. It's playoff time. It's getting hectic. It's getting fun. I made my return last week. which was fun. It was good to get back in there. Always go check out, if you're looking for wrestling content, because I'm sure he's got his opinion on this, go check out John for Wrestling Fan Insight. If you're looking to gamble, please gamble responsibly. Don't bet the rent. Don't bet the house. Bet what you can afford to lose. Do it outside of an NFL facility and listen to Nate's Daily Wager. If we missed you, you know we love you. And we'll thank you. And as always, we'll see you next time.
Peace.